All right, so we're going to go ahead and do a problem on factoring quadratics. So when factoring quadratics, there's some things that we need to remember. We need to remember that the number in front of the x squared is a, the number in front of the x is b, and the number at the end is always c. And this is helpful because we want to create a table to help us find factors, right? So on the left side, this is the multiplies to c term. And in this case, the c term is negative 24, right? And we have to include that negative because that is the sign that's in front of the number. The right side, we're going to sum the factors. We're going to add the factors to the b term. And in this case, the b term is positive 5, right? Because there's a plus sign in front of the 5. So positive 5. Now, I don't remember my factors. So I'm going to first start with row 1, with number 1. And we always know that 1 times itself gives us its number. And I'm going to put the negative on the 24 just to try it. So this becomes negative 24. And I'm going to add these two factors together on the right side. So 1 plus negative 24 equals to negative 23. Now this does not work because I want my factor to add up to positive 5, right? So if we look back up at the top, it tells us what we want it to add to, what we want our numbers to add up to. And we want it to add to positive 5. Well, let's see what happens if I put the negative on the other number. So what if I did negative 1 times positive 24? Well, negative 1 times positive 24 is negative 24. And now I'm going to try to add these two factors together. So negative 1 plus 24 equals to positive 23. This also does not work. But I noticed one thing. I noticed that when I sum up my factors, it's positive now. So this is a positive number. This means that the negative needs to be on the bigger number because we want our factors to add up to a positive number. So what do I do now? Well, I'm going to go back to my multiplication chart. I just did row 1. I just did my factors of 1. Let's go to 2. Well, if I go to 2, here's 24. It says that 2 times 12 equals 24. So if I go back to this page, I know that and let me change this. The negative is on the smaller number. So the negative needs to be on the smaller number to make the factors add up to a positive number. So I just did those. So I know that the negative needs to be on a smaller number. So that's going to be on the 2 times 12, which is negative 24. Now, negative 2 plus 24 is 22. And again, this also does not work because I want it to add to positive 5. So let's try the next row. So go back to my multiplication chart. If I go down to 3, I'm going to check, are there any numbers that 3 can multiply to get 24? And there is. 3 times 8 equals 24. And I know that my negative needs to be on a smaller number. So I'm going to do negative 3 times 8 to get negative 24. Negative 3 plus 8 equals positive 5. And this does work because I want it to have my factors to add up to positive 5. So now I need to put it into factored form. So remember that factor form is x plus small a times x plus small b, where small a equals to negative 3 and small b equals to 8. So that means I have x minus 3, since the 3 is negative, times x plus 8. And this is my factored form. So this would be my answer. This is my factored form.